Okay, friends, welcome back to yet another session of Thinking on Destiny. We are going on a very great topic of religion of gods. And before we go further into the further wisdom that Percival is sharing to us, let us meditate on his consciousness for a few minutes. Please sit in a meditative posture, cross your legs, clasp your hands, and close your eyes. If you have an eyewear, please remove them. We doesn't need it now. Please sit in a meditative posture. Please observe your in-breath and out-breath. And be with your breath. As Buddha says, when you are with your breath, you cannot be with your thoughts. Stay with your breath. Percival beautifully explaining how these religions were formed and how these gods are getting energy and became capable of fulfilling our wishes. The light that we are giving to the God, in turn coming back and fulfilling our wishes. Each one of us are those of light beings. You have that light within you. I have that light within me. The entire course of this thinking and destiny, Percival wants us to know, to realize, to understand that we are that knowers who has a lot of light within ourselves. Do not think yourself merely doers. Think you are a thinker. Know you are a knower who can reach that light of intelligence. Slowly place your palms on your eyes for a few seconds. And open your eyes with a beautiful smile on your face. Before we go further, let's hand over session to Balagaru, who can recap what we have learned in the last session. Over to you, Balagaru.
Yeah, thank you, Prasanna. So last week in section 3, we covered further the qualities of God and how we give the power, the humans, how we give the power by our thinking and by our worshiping. So here, Percival says, the qualities of God are entirely human. The superhuman human powers God has are accumulation of the powers given by the worshippers. So basically, he says the superhuman powers of the God he is getting from the accumulation of the powers of given by worshippers. God has no health or disease or bodily pains. God feels no pleasure or distress because because of his worshippers. That's the way they treat him. They feel it. None of the gods have foresight greater extent than any human beings who worship him. None of the gods stay forever or limitless. They disappear when worshippers are not worshipping. God does not create new earth or continents or races. All this is done by man only. God is interested in increasing the number of worshippers to obtain devotion for his power and glory. Gods have relation with higher intelligences and other gods with nature and men. Light of intelligence sent out by human thought is much superior to any other god. Light of intelligence guide God in certain instances, but do not create God. Men do that. Men only create. Governing triune selves help men to exteriorize their thoughts in carrying their destiny. God is God is allowed to assist only in their permitted destiny. So God can help them only in their permitted destiny to the humans. Only triune selves are interested in moral code, not the God. The gods worshipped by humans are in contact with the nature elemental gods. They get their support from the nature. Gods also get their support from nature. Even though elemental gods of nature are not manifested in physical form, they are very important. All religion gods are indirectly contact with earth spirit through light, life form, and the physical worlds. Light, life, and the form world and the physical world. Gods of historical times were in direct contact with earth spirit and showed favors and disfavors by phenomena like lightning, the storms, the floods, earthquakes, and good harvest and famine. When worshippers change the form from one god to another god, the free transient units pass from body of one god to the other. Gods conquer each other only through human beings. God's thought is the one which many persons contribute. This thought is in constant touch with unmanifested world and can draw power which an ordinary thought cannot. Here, that means the many people, thoughts together, it has more power, he's saying. God likes flattery, hymns, prayers, worship, and help in this. All these prayers, hymns, and worshiping, helps God to flattery. No gods created, no God created the world, or they only men made or man made. No God governs the world and maintains it. So no, God cannot govern the world and maintain. He's saying God does not set the stars, sun, moon, planets, or makes the seasons. He says only human thought or human beings only controls all this. God does not give the knowledge or conscience or science or literature. God does not give enlightenment to his worshippers, but tries to keep them in ignorance about themselves, and himself takes advantage of their ignorance. He does not appear to men because he has no physical body. He can only appear as fire, wind, cloud, or nature elements. Sacred books, writings, monuments are not given by God. Men only provided them. God cannot reach his worshippers after death, but because of religion's breath, breath form, breath form marks transfer to new breath form by AIA, then he takes birth into the same religious family because it carried from one birth to the another birth through breath form. God has limited power in rewarding and punishing his worshippers. These are the limits set by they are the destiny and the exterioration of their thoughts. Unbelievers, atheists, materialists all believe in some kind of superhuman power in external nature, which helps them even though they do not praise a form of God. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Balagadu, for recapping what we learned last session. Let's go further. The religion of God or the sessions, right? The fourth session. I think we have completed the third session last time. So
Yes.
here, the God is what you can say. The God is belief. Do you all agree? It's all belief. So if you feel that the God is there, he is there. If you feel that the God is not there, he is not there. That's all. It's all the belief. So then, who is actually giving? Whenever you are seeking the God, right? Who actually giving you the strength? Definitely, when we are seeking or believing the God, God is helping us. There's no doubt, right? So when you are praying for it, that God is helping us. But who is actually giving you that is a kind of thing? So with all the teachings, with all the things that we have learned, we can say that it is you yourself, right? That whatever it is giving. So we will see that. And what is the outside teachings? What is the inner life? What are the inner teachings actually? Okay. Now, what are the different types of teachings? That what is the story of Jesus? Because being a Christian, our author Percival, because definitely he will be knowing more into that because he was grew up into that religion, right? So he tried to analyze the religion that he was born. So he tried to analyze the Jesus life, and he's tried to give us the wisdom that how actually what is that inner teaching, what is that outer people's the teaching, right? So that's what he is giving. We can also correlate with the any of the Hindu religion, what is the inner teaching and what is the outer teachings. That also we can correlate and see that. Okay, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of God, and that Christian Trinity. This is what the topics that he is talking about in this chapter. So completely the results of which the first question that I asked you is what is from where the results are coming in the human life when they are praying for the God. When you are praying for these gods, you are getting a great benefit. Okay, so you are thinking that this God is a higher life of the human beings, and we are all thinking that way. And God help us in protecting us. God help us to change our life. God is the source of our mind, and God speaks through our conscience, and God is the one who is giving the peace. This is all the attributes. God is the one who is taking away who is giving a strength to get away from our hardships. Or God is the one who is giving our incentives for our lives. So these are all the things that we have. Then who is actually, whenever you are saying, according to us, the God is nothing but God is not there. So that's what we are seeing, right? So when that case, so who is actually giving all these interior results? These are all the results that we are, when you are praying the God, you are all getting it. There is no doubt in this, right? So if the God is not there, if the God is existing in every one of us, if that supreme consciousness is existing in every one of us, then there's not the special thing. But all these things are happening, we are seeing in our lives. You will say that, oh, no, 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 we cannot say that when they prayed for Baba all these things happened, when they prayed for Jesus all these things has happened. It's happening. That's totally agreeable and understandable. What is that it is actually doing? What is that? It is granting all their wishes. It is giving their peace. It is giving, changing their lives. It's nothing but the belief. It's nothing but the belief. So when you believe it, you will do it. When you believe the strongly, when you believe it, right, you will do it. So with the strength, the man is taking the strength from the God, that God will do it, and he started doing it because he is putting that strength on the God, and he's keep on doing it. So when he is able to do by putting the strength on that God, so that God, where is that God existing? That God is existing within every one of us. So you are putting the strength on your supreme consciousness, your conscience that is there. What is that supreme consciousness that is existing within you? Is nothing but the knower. It's nothing but the knower, the light of intelligence. So you are keeping the strength on the knower. So which means that you know that that kind of thing is there in somewhere. But only thing is what you are not understanding is that knower is within us. But you are keeping that knower separately and praying. But you are believing that that knower is helping you. But that knower name, you are keeping it as a God. One may name it as a Jesus, one may name it as a Rama, one may name it as Jesus, Krishna, and another may name it as Baba, or another may name it as whatever it is, Muhammad or anything. So all this is the things, that names that you have given the knower portion of yourself. Is it clear? So that is the reason when you have that belief, the things are happening. Men must seek the God and forget them. So when you really want to seek, because if you want to seek the God, if the God is there, supreme consciousness is there, he is also giving you way how you can worship it, how you can seek the God. When you are seeking the God, this is was written in many of our religious books also. When you can seek the God, you cannot seek the God that you are separate in the God. If you want to seek the God, you have to completely immerse. You should not think that I have separate, I'm a separate and then God is separate. That kind of thing. If you are thinking themselves that you are a separate being and God has to do, then you are not actually seeking the God. You are actually using the God for your own needs. So they must think not of their wishes, not of their rights, not of their obligations, what they have received, nor and of their duties. You should not think of any of these things. They should not think of themselves. If you see God, you should not think of yourself. Just I want God, God, God. Then you will become the light of intelligence. But if you are thinking that I am a separate, I am not free, the God is separate, that is the problem, right? Whenever you are seeking the God also, you are not actually seeking entirely thing. You don't want to become, suppose if the God, you are seeking the God, right? If the God come and sit in your home, are you really happy? Are you really is able to accept that one? No, we don't want that. The God should be there somewhere, invisible, and has to grant our wishes. That is where our problem is coming. So God is, so they cannot abandon themselves. When you want to seek the God, abandon yourself and seek the God. That's what he is saying. You have to abandon yourself and seek the God. They cannot find the God thinking your personal self is existing. You are thinking that, oh, I am different and the God is different, and I want to seek the God, but I want to keep my things, my positions, my kids, my family, all the things are there. Then you will not able to seek the God, because if you want to seek the God, completely forget about yourself. Then you will seek that God, which means that you are completely forgetting that you are the doer. Coming back to our notations, you are completely forgetting that you are the doer. You are thinking, you want to become one with that God, which means that you are going to become one with that supreme intelligence or the light of intelligence. Then you can achieve it. Do not think that I am a doer. The doer portion want this and you are the knower separate. If you are doing that, you will not be able to achieve it. The exterior results, right, whatever that you are building, you are so these are why all this coming is because of the priestly officers and all the whatever the philanthropists, all those things, right? Whatever these people has given, this is all hypocrisy that they have given to us. So they are not letting us to know the truth. People are not, we are not aware of that. You are believing the two different gods. No, I'm just believing one God. So, no, you are believing the two. One is the God is omnipresent, omniscient, everywhere. When the God is everywhere, God is within you and within me, then you cannot hate anybody. You cannot get angry on anybody. You cannot feel jealous on anybody. When you know that knowledge, when you feel that, but you're getting all these feelings. You're getting all these emotions. So you're not believing that the God is omniscient, omnipresent. You are saying with your lips, but you are not actually practicing. That's what he's saying. You're thinking to, when it is a vast powerful the nature, right? When the God's nature is powerful, you should be able to believe that everything is the God's creation only. When everything is a God's creation, you will be able to love everything. But you are confused. You are not doing that. the being with which they are receiving understanding, whatever the understanding, conscience and identity, right? So they can feel and think, which they are the part of it. But their one unknowing part is their noetic part. The whatever the part of they within them is the noetic part of them. What is the noetic part? The knower. We are unknowingly, you are not able to understand that you are also the knower. So you are going to the doer. To some extent, you are going to the thinker, but you are not understanding that you are the doer. So to know that worship of one's knower is taught in the no historical religion. So in any religion, it was not taught. One's knower, to know the worship your own knower, is the one that no religion was taught. Here he is not giving any exception to any religion. No religion was taught that there is a knower within you, worship that knower. If the God, if you want to worship, that God is there within you, worship that God. If you feel that if you keep that God name to that knower, worship that God. That is sitting in within you. But we were taught God of a religion. So the God of a religion, some God of a religion who has a very pure, noble life, that worship is paid seemingly, so that worship only will give, but really the one's own knower, once within everybody, that knower portion is the one which was not taught by any religion. That's what he is trying to bring out into this chapter. The run of human beings is sense bound, because your run is always the sense bound. They live and think externals, because we are actually, the human being nature is, with all the panchendriyas, we are trying to grab the world within us. We are trying to grab the external world within us. We are trying to grab the feelings. We are trying to grab the thinking of the nature. So that's how we are actually trying to. You are making up the impressions on the breath form. What you are doing with all the breath form, sorry, with all the panchendriyas, whatever that you are grasping from the outside, you are making an impression on the breath form. Remember, friends, this breath form is nothing to do with your knower. Knower cannot make any such impressions on it. This breath form is in your breath form only. All these impressions are only on the breath form. When this breath form purifies, balanced, nothing, then you will become the knower, and then you will become the one with that supreme intelligence. That is the one we are trying to do it. So, do you identify yourself that capital I? You identify with yourself that capital I is the knower I, not with I as Prasanna, I as Risha, I as Bala, or nothing like that. This small I is the one that we are identifying ourselves. Do not identify yourself. Identify yourself with that supreme I, or capital I, which is that knower. That is the changeless eternal feeling. That is an eternal. That knower portion is eternal. It cannot be lost. Once you identify yourself, you will not fear for death. The entire universe, the problem is you people are fearing for death, which is the very lowest vibration of the thing. If you think that we are all the energy beings, not that actually there's a truth. We are all the energy beings. When we are all the energy beings, the lowest emotion, the lowest feeling is the fear. That with that fear of death, we are actually living. When you are living in that lowest feeling, with the lowest energy, then where in the world you will be able to learn about the actual knower within yourself. The one that you have to know is the knower within yourself. You need to go there and grab that knower. When can you do that? When you are living with the highest vibration. What is the highest vibration? Love. When you are in that highest vibration only you can. So when you understand that this birth and death on this earth is nothing to do. The breath form, actually the breath form is coming and taking a body and making some impressions, and again going and coming back again, doing some more impressions. Whatever the impressions that the breath form is having, or whatever the thoughts that you have released, it is getting manifested, if not in this life, next life. So this is a cycle that we are going on. So the man's idea of God comes from his own thinker and his own knower. From that only it came. So it became mystery. This is the mystery of the God. So the mystery of the God is you are searching the God outside. With your thinking, you are searching the God outside. There is somewhere the God is here in this religion, somewhere you are searching. But the thing is that God, that capital God, God, or that capital I is there within you. You are just not realizing it. That is what, that divinity is there within every one of us. Once you reach that divinity within, then your ignorance is gone. Ignorance of that thinking, whatever the rate, that divinity is outside somewhere, that ignorance is gone, that divinity is there within yourself, and you will be able to feel it, explain it, and you will be able to reach that noetic presence of that capital God. And when you are able to reach that God, you will be able to reach the light of intelligence. That's the where we are actually wanted to do that. That's where we all wanted to land at the end of it. When the nature of the God you are building outside, the human is attributing his power, knowledge, all the things, right? Oh, God is super knowledgeable. God is all powerful. This is the attributes that we are giving to the God outside, not inside. We are giving all these attributes to the outside. So as long as you are attributing these qualities to the outside God, the God cannot reveal himself. He may give you, or he may, whatever the things that you wanted, it may happen because you have that belief within you. That belief is the, with that belief you may be able to do it, but you cannot realize the God. That you have to realize the God is not outside, he is there inside, because then only human can contribute to the actual God. That is the mystery of the God. If you say where is the mystery, that is the mystery. The mystery of the God is within you. When the human knows that his thinker, his knower, when he started worshipping his thinker and his knower, then you will be able to realize the God, and you will be able to chase the mystery of the God. This is the essence of this chapter. The entire chapter, this is the actual essence. Okay. The results of the belief in God are usually good, because the belief is always up. Belief is not a lowest vibration like a fear or jealous or anger. So belief is always a good emotion, good positive emotion. So because of this thing, belief is uplifting. It's stimulating, it's confronting. So it is nothing but it gives. Belief is always gives. With such a belief, you are able to do the strongest things, because when you have the belief, you will be able to do best, right? When you believe that this will happen for sure, you'll try to do more and more. If the God is a powerless to change the destiny, then even helpless prayers cannot. When you say that this God is not a powerful, even whatever the prayers you are doing, it will not help, because you don't have the belief. Do you pray the God that you don't believe it? You don't pray, right? So usually, because when the belief is not there, it has to be that is what, if one God is there, whoever prays, it has to happen. But whenever you are going to that God, only few people prayers are answered, not everybody, because that belief is not there. They may went for just for searching, or they may went for testing, or they don't have that belief, and they are going. They're just praying with the lips, but that belief is not there within them. In that case, you will not be able to, because belief is the one that it is actually doing with the thing. So with this belief, your prayers are answered. Who is actually answering your prayers? Your own thinker, your own knower is answering your prayers. Prayers that is one pointed, unconditional, without any reservation, is the only one kind that reaches to your thinker. Remember, the prayers that is one pointed, unconditioned, without reservations, are the prayers it will reach to the thinker. So when it reach to the thinker, because the prayer is simplified to the thinker will not give the light, the thinker will not give the light or help or confront the sorrow or trouble, where the prayer is simply to satisfy a selfish wish. Remember, again, if it is only the selfish wish, the thinker will not give that light to that particular wish. So the selfish prayers will not be answered. The belief itself is that there is a God. Even if he is a God of straw, he gives the strength. So when you are actually believing, he gives a strength. It allows the believer to feel that he does not stand alone. He is not forsaken. Then you may ask, when the selfish wishes are not answered, then I may pray the God that I want to have a good job, that I want to change, or I want to get a job. That's a selfish wish, right? In general. So when the selfish wish is there, why the God is answering? That's a selfish wish. It's not going. I'm not going to give anything. Why it is? Why the God is answering? Here the God is not answering. Here, what is happening is, with that belief you are working. With the belief you are getting a strength and you are working. Actually the doer portion is working and he is actually able to get the things done. With the belief he has a strength to do it. So he is gaining the strength with the prayer. Because of that he is able to do it. That's what he is saying. God is of a religion is of help. Underlying idea is it concerns something superior, something beyond material, something, the voice that justice will be heard, and something that it has a power. We do not, but what he is saying is, we usually do not worship the God honestly. They worship their lips. We worship with their lips, but not with the hearts. They say that you do not feel or believe, and they are dishonest with their God. They promise more than they are willing to do. So not all of them are actually doing. That's what he's saying. You pray God, but not with, only with the lips, but not with the heart. In that case also things may not happen, because of many, because the belief is not there. That's a simple thing, is belief is not, it's not that there is a supreme power which is not giving you yourself actually giving, that we all know, right? Whenever we are actually want to become, I want to become a billionaire, that is a thought I just become released to the universe. Immediately I release, where in the world I'll become a billionaire, what I'm doing. So immediately I'm also releasing a thought which is a negating to the previous thought. So which is that your thinker is not throwing any light, it's not giving any light to that thought, because you yourself has released the doubt, or a with the doubt, the other negative thought also you released it. The protection and fatherhood of the God is the source of their well-being. So every religion has a fatherhood, brotherhood. This is what the every religion is actually teaching. And also we have seen we have the inner life. So no, the religion actually, what is that religion has to teach is the inner life, the way that you leads to the inner life, the way that you leads light to the inner life. So that is what the yoga schools are teaching. Here is saying yoga schools are teaching, go and what is the yoga means? It is one, become one with your body, mind, soul. Yoga, which means it's a union. What is that? You have to become union, your heart, your body, your soul, all three should become one. With that you have to do the things. That is what the yoga schools are teaching. That is what we have to go. Mohammedism came into the Sufi section and their inner teaching. So later it came, and they also came with their inner teachings. So here he is taking that. Saint Paul came and he came into the inner teaching. Then Judaism came with their inner teachings of Kabbalah. So all the, and then Jewish religion came into the nature, which is actually came into the inner teaching. So these are all came originally with the inner teachings. But the later, with all the so much of the mediatorships from the God to the people, so many mediatorships and so many that depend, and you want somebody to take you to the God, right? So in that case, that inner ships, inner knowledge or inner thinking was gone. So then all the outer things, all the things that these people has interpreted came into our picture. One who understands one who understands as a feeling and desire is in the physical body. So feeling and desire is in the physical body, and the conscious of our doer portion, our own thinker and knower, is eternal and will not, cannot depend on the God or gods of the nature. So you, once you understand that feeling and desire can depend on the outer God, but your knower portion is an eternal, which cannot depend on GOD. It's a small GOD. It cannot depend on the God, means the small GOD is always outside God only. So whenever you, this eternal knower cannot depends on the God or the nature of the God, Once you understand that, you are actually, you can conquer. But the only thing is the people are stuck there. People are not able to. People are thinking this God only. They can only feel and desire the small God, but they are not able to understand that whatever the attributes, right? Suppose if you attribute, if you say that, that's what he is saying. If you say that outside the God is there, he is ever present. He is all powerful. He is omnipresent, omniscient. So once you start it, then forget about yourself and completely depend on that God. Then also you will reach that capital God. Because there cannot be two things cannot be existing. There is only one. If you feel that the God is outside, completely forget the self and completely depend on that. Otherwise, think that God is there within you and then go to the knower. These are the two
That's
ways.
surrender part.
Surrender. Yes. Don't think that the God is there and I am separate and I want to be things to be done. This is not is the one. If you think that outside the God is there, completely surrender. Right word. Completely surrender yourself to that God, and then you will reach the light of intelligence. Here is given, there are, but every 2000 years, he is saying that every 2000 years, there is a chance is given to the people to understand their knower. It's a cycle. That's what he's saying. There is a 6 types of the nature religions and 6 types of the information about thinker and a knower will be given. This will be given like every 2000 years. This will come into the thing. Okay, priests and religions may change again this religion, right? So these 6 opportunities in 12,000 years, you will get 6 opportunities, because every 2000 years it is giving an opportunity, right? 6 opportunities. So opportunities will be given. So you accept this information as a thinker and a knower, then you will be able to reach that light of intelligence. If you reject, then you have to wait for next 2000 years to get then another opportunity. This will happen in every, this happens in 6 times in 12,000 years. That is what he is actually saying. The Christian teachings belong to the cycle of dealing the thinker and knower. So here he is saying all the teachings, the Christian teachings and Brahmanism belongs to the former cycle, which is the nature of the religion. Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Mohammedism, all the things have these cycles. In this cycle, every one religion, they may say that this is the thing. This is the thing. Here, if you go to the Christianism, yeah, let me explain this triune self first before I go there. So here is also saying Om again, right? Om is usually the word Om comes. We think that that belongs to the Hindu religion. That's how it happened, right? That's how it was depicted. But here again, AOM, Om is the symbol of triune self. Doer, thinker, knower. AOM. Okay, so here is this is the symbol of the triune self. If you understand this, so that's a symbol of perfect sexless body. That's what he is saying. He is saying that before Jehovah comes, Adoni is the name of the physical body. Before all the 6 bodies comes into the things, right? The female. The Adoni is the name of the physical body that came into the beginning of it, and then the bodies came into this. So in one religion, in the Jewish version is aided by this intelligence, triune self of the human beings, producing a permanent body. So permanent body. The Jewish section also is saying, Hebrews are also saying. So whatever the names that he has given, right? So every religion, there is a Kabbalist was acquired in the psychic powers that was there in the Jewish religion. That's what he is thinking. In any religion that he is saying, the first 2000 years, that opportunity, that what he is saying about the Christianity, because he has given an example of the Christianity. I'll take that example and I'll try to explain to you. Here is the thing. So you know that in the Christianity, that whatever that the priest has suffering, life, death, suffering, and resurrection and ascension, all the things that we have learned, right? What is happening here is saying, here is that he went to that whenever he is suffering to that level, and again he came with the body. That's what we are saying, that a resurrection, right? So what he is saying is, so he went to the beyond that doer thinker portion. When he went to that beyond doer thinker portion, he is able to understand that he is the knower. So what is the knower portion that it will do? Knower portion is nothing but the eternal. eternal portion, right? So that eternal portion is the one that he attained at that time. He attained, because of that he did not understand, he understand that this body is not the one. So when he understand that, he is able to come back with the knowledge that he is the knower. That's why he is able to tell. The way he explained is, that's a kingdom of God. So once you understand that you are the knower, you are in the kingdom of God, everybody, right? So that is what we have to understand from the story. Even if I take the same Bhagavad Gita example, right? In Bhagavad Gita example, he explains in the what do you say, in the battlefield, he is explaining, well, he is actually answering the question to the Arjuna. He explains that thousands of years back we were there, and all of us here, and we will be there in the future also when we are not there. So what is that? It is explaining that human is an eternal, isn't it? The same thing that Christianity is also explaining. But the thing is, after a while, but every religion, whatever the religions has listed, every religion is trying to teach that there is an inner being. That inner being is nothing but the God. But all these mediumships, the priest mediumships, once it comes, they try to establish a kind of a mediumship. When they are trying to establish a mediumship, the original teachings was not reached, and the people started believing that the God is outside, God is somewhere, God is not there within us. So we are all in that falsification. We are all in that falsification of the nature. That is what we are in, that's where we are actually living it. So here, if you are saying the cross is a symbol, right? So if we are saying the cross is a symbol, it is having male nature and the female nature. Both one has to be having, the two natures are tied together. That's what he's saying. The cross symbol is saying male nature and female nature, both feminine muscular energies are tied together in every human being. Female is an horizontal and male is the vertical line. That is what the cross symbol is actually saying it. This is the symbol. It is not that the symbol of the Christianity or anything. Living body means that is the living body, having both. But we say that the Shiva Tattva Ardhanarishwara, so we are having the feminine nature and we are saying the muscular nature. There also the two natures are together in every human being. One is the dominant nature. If the muscular energy is a dominant, he is a male, and if the feminine energy is a dominant, she is a female. That's how the people are behaving, right? So every religion is seeking staying the same, because when he read the Bible in the hundred, even though this story or this book was written the 100 years back, in that there itself he couldn't believe that whatever the Bible that it is available. He went to the Old Testament, the original. So much of the teachings in the Bible, in that testaments, was removed. The convenience of the people, convenience of this priest, whoever is actually teaching. So they wanted to establish a kind of hierarchy, that because of that all these things were not are hidden. That's what he's saying. In any religion, in fact, it's not the criticism of any one particular religion. In any religion, if you go back to the Vedas, the Brahman is there in everybody. Who is a Brahmin? In that, if you go and see in the Vedas, what is the Brahmin definition? One who understands that he is the Brahman is a Brahmin. It's not by caste, it is not by anything. It is by the nature. Once you understand that that Brahman is there within you, that is a Brahmin, right? So that's it. But if you are saying the nowadays priests, they will not say Brahmin means those who born from the in the Brahmin, those who can understand Sanskrit or something like that, they may tell. This is not the truth. So these are all the things that is hidden in any religion. He is saying that in any religion, the inner truths were actually hidden. The inner truths were not coming out. This chapter is trying to teach that particular inner truths. Because these gods or these religions are the human being who created it. At the end, what he's saying is the God did not create any religion. Human being is the one who started creating all these religions. That is the that's the end of the story, and that is the end of what we are trying to understand it, right? What we have to understand finally, this that God which is there within you only, you have to try. All these stories of this crucifixion, resurrection or ascension are the remnants of the greater truths. There is a greater truth for all these things. But what we are hearing in the religion is just the remnant, the end part of it only. You are just hearing only the fleshy tales of it. You are not actually hearing the life, the story of life, which is eternal. That is the story that you have to learn. The resurrection, how it happened. The Jesus represents his physical body to the life which is eternal. He reached to that stage because of which he come back. That story, that particular truth, if any priest can teach, then all the illusion will be like a veil. It will go away, and you are able to reach that light of intelligence. Once you are able to reach the light of intelligence, you will become one with that supreme intelligence, which is called the kingdom of heaven or kingdom of God, whatever it is, right? You can be there, but you are not the conscious of your conscious of that. So that's where we need to go and see that this is all about this particular chapter. So I will close this chapter 4 with this understanding that we have to understand the knower, which is the God portion within us. Or if you want to worship the God externally, then forget about yourself and completely worship that God. Completely surrender that God. These are only the two choices that you have it. Okay. If we have 10 minutes for questions.